Welcome to today's webinar. Who is here? Who is on the call? Tell us where you are joining us from. Who is on the call? Tell us where you are joining us from. I can see two people. Who is on the call? We are live. Today we'll continue on our journey on prostate health for men 40 and above. Okay, you're welcome, Hoodoo. You're welcome, Job. It's nice to have you here. Where are the others? Let them join us. Let's talk about food today. Food and prostate health. So gradually we are increasing in number. I'm happy that we are all here. Our last meeting, we talked about general overview on prostate health. Today we are going to talk on another subject which is also very important. Like I told us, we'll be looking at different areas to the prostate health to ensure that we live better life as men so that we are not at risk. Our purpose is to protect our prostate. So Olakule is here. You are welcome. Matthew is here. You are welcome. Gradually, the number is increasing. Where are the others? If you know anybody that's supposed to be here that's not here, please call them. Let them gather. One of the things that all of us do is we eat, and we eat almost about anything. Now, we should not be eating anyhow anymore. That's why we are here. You should protect yourself. Okay? My people say something about safety, carefulness, and everything, and says, being careful is the best medicine for your eyes. Being careful is the best medicine for your eyes. So you don't want a situation where you can put your eye at a risk. So for us men, we don't want to put ourselves at risk. So let's take good care of our prostate. And tonight, like I said, we'll be talking about this subject matter, the food connection. Eat right to protect your prostate. And we have one of us, is a man also, like you and I, so I'm not bringing women to talk to us about our health. We have a man here that will talk to us. So I'm going to bring him on while more people join. So, Mr. Justin Raymond, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, for viewers, as you can see, video is not showing, and I'm sure you know all of us are in Nigeria. You know the kind of light Allah we have. So one of the reasons that are responsible for that is you have to even go outside. One, so that I can get network. Then two, because of light, because of his location. But one interesting thing is it's made up of stuff as a nutritionist, and is going to share with us. Okay. So gradually the number is growing. I don't want to keep us waiting. I don't want to just have too long an introduction. We'll just go straight into the discussion. Those who miss the class will watch the replay. So, Mr. Justin Raymond, we want to welcome you to our show. We call it A Place for Men. And we have a group called Protect Your Prostate. And the purpose of that group is to enlighten men on prostate health. We know that as you begin to cross 40, 50, prostate health becomes something of concern because it begins to dwindle in functionality. And of course, many people begin to experience different things. Before now, people think that when you talk about prostate, we are looking at those old men. But today, even younger people are getting it. Okay? So last meeting that we had on Wednesday, we invited a consultant urologist who gave an overview of prostate health and shared some very good insight. Now, we are taking it to the next level and we're looking at different areas as it relates to prostate health, and we'll say, let's talk about food. What are the food that are good for our health in general and for prostate? What are the food that are bad for our health in general and for our prostate? But before we go into the discussion, I just want you to introduce yourself and let people know who Mr. Justin Raymond is. Please, Mr. Justin, can you talk to my people.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all my other. I, Master Justin Raymond, a nutrition officer from Zango General Hospital, Katap. I am here to discuss the topic eating right to protect your prostate health. First and foremost, on the topic to protecting eating right to protecting your prostate health. One, there are some things that we need to talk about. You see, eating that's having a healthy, balanced diet. That you cannot be eating like that. Then we have a healthy, balanced diet. That's number one. Then number two, often thinking about weight control. There is a most important things about weight control. General fitness. Then we have general fitness. That's to say keeping cholesterol down. It is less common to choose center food with the aim of what? Cancer prevention. That's the main purpose of what? Controlling your diet. Number one, there are some things or food that we need to talk about that we as in as a age of as age approach. You know, at the age of 20, we do things you eat as we go, all this joy food we take. But at the age of 40, some things we need to control. That's we list as a nutrition that we use to guide and to take. Number one, we have what? We have fatty fish. That's fatty fish, which what is rich in what? Omega 3. Omega 3 is fatty acid. Those fish reduce what? Inflammation and support what? Pro- protest health. That's what he control all this, anything that will lead to protest cancer. Then number two, we have what? Tomatoes and what? Red fruit. That they are what? Packed with lycopene and what? Antioxidants. Then the second one, we have what? Cruciferous vegetable. They are what? They are center sulforaphane, which what? Targeting cancer cells and would promote a healthy prostate healthy prostate. Then other we also have what? Nut and seed. Nut and seed, they are rich in what? Zinc, essential for what? Prostate health. Then we have snatch on pumpkin seed. Like this pumpkin seed, pumpkin skin, sunflower, sunflower seed, and what? Almond. Then we have berries and what? Other fruit. They are what? They are high in what? Antioxidant, which help reducing what? Oxidative stress and inflammation. Then what to avoid? We have some food that you need to avoid. If for the first stage we are what to control what? Fat intake. Fat intake. So now that we have listed the one that are low what in fat, because it's the fat from the definition that I first mentioned, that we have to have what? A healthy balanced diet. And number two is what? Weight control. For you to control your weight, we need to reduce what? Fat intake. So food to avoid, we have what? Red and what? Processing meat. Red and processing meat may what? Increase inflammation and what? Prostate cancer. Prostate cancer risks. So we need to what? Limit what? Beef, lamb, pork, and other processed meat like sausages. We have also dairy product. Dairy product, they are high in what? Saturated fats. To you to control your weight, we need to do what? To reduce taking all these dairy products. By reducing them, because they are what? High in what? In saturated fat and what? Calcium. They also have what? High sodium food. What are the high sodium food? We have also can contribute urinary problem, and what? Increase what? Blood pressure. By taking the high sodium, you can increase what? Urinary problem. It can also what? Increase high pressure. by at the age of 40, it also expecting all those things, because there's no way you say how far, how this thing. It is normal in our age. As we are growing up and age increasing, also other activities are reducing. So food we take without burning them are becoming what problem in our body. So we need controlling them by removing this thing from our diet. But we have what? Caffeine and alcoholic. Caffeine and alcoholic might what? Initiate the prostate and worsen the symptom. Because from at that age, taking caffeine and also alcoholic, it worsen and leading to another problem. Then we have what? Fried food and sugary snacks. They contribute to the inflammation and oxidant stress. Now, you choose them optionally, like baking or baking food and whole fruit. Any ones that comes to you that you can be able to choose. Then also, there's some there is some meal plans that we have. Meal plan we have that someone can be taking. We have one like breakfast. So from the first stage, as Africa, some food that we need that are surrounding us that we need to be taking to control our normal diet. We have what we have at breakfast. We need to take what oat at meal with what berries and nuts. It is high in what fiber, where berries and nuts provide what antioxidants. Then we have what at the same that breakfast we have what again we can take green leaf and what whole grain. It is choice. When you have not taken the oat, you can also have other green tea. Then anyone that you take as a breakfast is part of you, so that you control your diet. Then green leaf and what whole grain. Then toys and what green tea also contain what catechins, which might have what anti-cancer properties. Anti-cancer property that it is to control it, that it cannot even lead. They will also at lunch, which other people that can choose that either you have green salmon with roasted vegetable, fatty fish like salmon are rich in what omega-3 fatty acid, that which one can be taken as a lunch, can taken as a lunch because the vegetable provide what antioxidant. They fight what the phytochemical that control the disease. They also have what lettuce and what soup with whole grain, bread, bread, lettuce are what good source of what protein and what fiber. At dinner, that's at night time, that someone can take. We also for when you can substitute from the other side, because you cannot be saying okay, you cannot be taking this because you have taken in the afternoon. You can substitute. We have what Greek chicken. We have with roasted sweet potato or potato other. They are what rich in vitamin A, will control all our this thing where we have quinoa and what vegetable. They are stir fry with what nut. Quinoa is a good source of protein and fiber. When not provide what healthy fat. Then snacks, snacks are fruit, not fresh fruit, and what not. Then we have the benefit of taking all these balanced diets, because there's no how you'll be taking them like that. We have the benefit of it. By you taking this, there's a benefit on it for taking this. Number one benefit is what? It reduce the inflammation. That is the diet. It reduce the inflammation. Then number two, antioxidant support what? Balanced diet. Antioxidant support what? Balanced diet. There's some food I mentioned that they have the antioxidant. Then they support what? They support balanced diet, such as vitamin E, vitamin C, vitamin E. It help protects what? Cell from damage. For benefit for to control the diet, it also is it support immune function. It support the immune function, because for our body there's some immune that need to function. It cannot be function like that, but you for taking a good diet, it also help to control some other diseases among the body, because taking diet it control what it control growth, energy, and supply other things. Then for you, I have mentioned something without discussing it when I mentioned about weight control. Weight control, there are some other key factors that we need to talk about the weight. Weight, number one, we have a normal person that have supposed to as normal weight. We call it at nutritionists, we call it body mass index. The body mass index is calculating the whole body by taking the weight of the person. So we have how we calculate it as a normal weight. Then we take height. So by calculating the normal grow human being controlling weight, we have weight that will be 18.5, which is what we suggest it as what low weight. If an adult like 40 years above, weight is we measure and the weight suggests to be 18.5. This means it's underweight, which is it can lead a little problem. They will also have weight that control between 18.5 to 24.9, which is we call normal healthy range. That's at the age of 40 above. They will also have the 125 to 29.9 range, which is we call it what overweight. Is overweight a little. Then at we range of 30 above to 40, we also call it what obesity. That's a lot of problem. So how we calculate this weight in controlling weight? Number one, let's assume somebody that is age of 40, the weight is 69. The weight is 69 and the height is 170. So roughly we plug a calculator to calculate the normal body mass index. As we do it, you times the height times square. That's 2. We say so far the height is 170. Then we can say 1.70 times 1.70, what it give you. Then you can now write the weight. Let's assume I say the weight is 69. Then that 69, you divide the square of that height. What it give you, then you divide. It cannot be more than that 23 as I mentioned. So any ones that the height is 1.6 or 1.7 and the weight you calculate over, then it's over 100 plus and you divide, it gives you more than that 30. Definitely there's a problem. So as a normal controlling weight and controlling your diet, from that stage you need to do what? You need to have a nutritionist or you need to have wear clothes that they can write top of your this thing or giving you menu, that's food meal that you can be taking so that you can control your what your diet, because you cannot be at risk. From the topic that say eating from the topic that say eating well that can what protect our what healthy prostate health. So from there you can control your weight. Definitely that from that 30 above, someone need to be control his weight or his weight. So from the little discussion that I have, is few food that I have mentioned that like I may not have time to all. But what I might need to tell you that nutrition is about science. I might mention from this one, then the other side, maybe another finding. Maybe as we are discussing, another researcher is finding another food that is also held in that participation. So it cannot be say whether it's a light or it's a addition. So far, life is about science. That's what I have to say this evening. Thank you, Master Ndedi, for giving me time.
Thank you so very much. You see, he went over it, and as he was talking, you could, if you were watching, you know that I was nodding because some of those things are eating home. They are hitting home. You see, you make something talk about weight control,
Mm.
and I've had reason myself to control my weight, and I knew how I felt. Unfortunately, I added up some of that weight again. But I think I've learned a lot from what you have said, and those who are watching have learned a lot. You are able to mention different types of food that can help, that we should take. We have mentioned food that we should avoid. Now, even went further to talk about what to take for breakfast, what to take for lunch, and what to take as dinner. You also talked about some snacks, talk about fruit and everything. Now, sometimes some people, when you begin to talk about food and you begin to say, avoid this one, avoid that one, people will now ask this question: does it mean that I cannot enjoy myself? Does it mean that I cannot eat any food I like? What can you say about that? Because you said,
Eh,
don't eat this one, don't eat that one, don't eat beef, don't eat lamb. And now they are going to kill a cow in our compound. Should I not eat it? And stuff like that. So, what can you say in relation to that?
Uh, Basically, it might go wrong or it might sound somehow to others. Because number one, when you are at the age of one, you have to say to your father, I need this, I do this, I have this, and they give you, you take based on your own. At the age of 20, you now think of what to take, what am I going to have? Then reaching to age of 40, you see, from the parent care to your self-control, you have now come to that an extent that now I don't know how to put it, whether constrained by God or constrained by other people. Because number one, at 40, things you need to take, it is good, but there are some illnesses that you cannot escape from them as a human being. But you see, for your own good, you cannot be say no how and when. But so far they have said they is just for a little while. Okay, like a location where I am now, it's a local location, right? I cannot be saying to them, oh, okay, don't eat this, don't do this, don't this. I first formally ask the person background. We discuss about it. Number two, what is close by, and how can you even provide them? So from asking question, I can know the background of the person, and I know there is substitute in those things. Because as I say, some things, some meat, they have rich in what uh, omega omega 3 acid, fatty acid. So omega 3 fatty acid, and it's not that you when the kill cow is just full that you will not eat, you will just be looking. No, there is some part of the that meat that you can take, and there's some when I say grit and other things, there are some process you can take that you can take like other people, but you cannot be doing like other people that are just rushing, taking it. But you have to take some process to do it as your own age. I will just call it maturity. I think let's put it in that way. Because when other are consuming at the same time, you cannot take it like that. So you have your time and do the way as they describe for you. Like people who are in the locality, okay, you now look up their background. What is their main source that they are taking? Then you describe it for them. Like me going to Zadia and say, okay, pig is good in so vitamin, so you need to take it. You see, they have to sit with me down and discuss where do you read your nutrition. So I have to, when I go to Zadia, ask their source of food. Then I describe based on their locality and based on their they can afford. I think that is what we normally do.
Thank you very much, because this actually has been concerned when it comes to nutrition and health. People, when it comes to diabetes, when it comes to different health conditions, people are restricted with food. So people now think, so Moku no chop again. And because of that, some just give up and they will just eat anything and say die now once. Okay, so I think what you're trying to say, which
So, hmm, hey, God bring me out. Stop me with data. But, well, data go finish. I mean, what is the most appropriate time for dinner? Oh, eh, now they are buffer. Yeah, yeah. Hello. Wallahi, my network just go. Eh, yeah. No, that one is consultant. Yeah, I'm not a consultant. Ah, thank you. It's only question that is not answer. It's man. So, that's another one. Boy, safe and calm. Hi. Maybe you should let him go and this time. Hello. God, take me away.
Hello. My internet just went off. I don't know why that happened.
Hello?
That is quite terrible. I'm sorry,
Huh?
guys. My internet went off. I just struggled to come back now.
Okay, I thought this is my problem.
No. It's the internet. Sorry about
Oh,
that. Thing just
okay.
disappeared. Wow.
Okay.
So thank you
Uh,
very much for sharing. I actually put a question on the screen.
okay.
The question is saying, what is the most appropriate time for dinner? And when is it unhealthy to eat at night? I'm
Thank
guilty of
you.
this. Even before you give the time, I'm guilty of this one. So go ahead, please, and tell us.
Thank you for this question. I think the most appropriate time for dinner, according to, we are not using our Africa standard. We are using also other foreign country standard. I think is when you eat like a heavy food, you eat 6 hours before uh, sleep time. If you are eating light food, then you take it 2 hours before sleep time. Uh, It mean when when you used to sleep, like some other people used to do assignment, other office work at home, they used to do it to 8, like we are discussing now. You know, some other people are resting now. They have take their dinner around 6, then now they are asleep. When we were discussing as we are resting now, then as we take it around 7, you see around 8 you can now sleep. And it's wrong like that when you just take your dinner and sleep, because you need to do some exercise. There is some exercise, even carrying hand or even discussing, as sitting down as a nutrition, there's some energy you spend. So the energy you spend as sleep, it might not be rich the one you do as sitting down or discussing. So some food need to be born before sleeping. So you eat 2 hourly before sleeping. Or people that take pounded yam and other things, you used to take 6 hours before sleeping. Then unhealthy to eat. I think what is saying right, unhealthy to eat at night. I think that's the self explanation. So by you taking all these snacks that are low in sugaring, I think 2 hours before sleeping, they are what healthy eating. But unhealthy eating is just that we take a pounded yam, immediately taking, they will now say, okay, good night, and go and sleep. You see, you need to burn that energy so that to control your weight. Some other people, they will just say, okay, I have just come from late from work, or we have just finishing, I'm just finishing some work my oga gave me from office, so I'm now doing it now. So you just take indomie, all this fast food, and just when you just eat and sleep, it is at its own.
All right, thank you. If you can, I can pick from what you said. If you are eating hot, heavy food, it should be at least 6 hours before sleep. If it is light food, you make it no less than 2 hours before food. So it's not advisable to just eat, finish eating, then straight to the bed. Is that what you're saying? Mr. Raymond, are you with us? Mr. Raymond, are you with us? I hope network has not thrown him out also. like network has also thrown him out. Okay. So we have a question in the group was asking if pumpkin seeds are good for the prostate. The nutritionist mentioned it earlier. He said yes, that they are good for the prostate. So you can eat that. There's a question, what about a man that weight is 56 and height is 1.6? Just like he said, you calculate your BMI. It's a calculation. The problem is not the numbers. The problem is not the numbers. The problem is by the time you do the calculation, what does your BMI gives you? So it's 56 divided by 1.6 times 1.6. So you do the simple calculation, okay? The simple calculation will arrive at, it's not something I'll do from my head. I don't need to. So let's see. So 1.6 times 1.6 is 2.56. So if we look at 56 divided by 2.56, that is giving us 21.5. 21.5 from what he said is within normal range. The normal range is from 18.5 to 23. So if your BMI is around that, you are not underweight. So because a person is 56 kg does not mean that the person is underweight. What is the person's height? So I'm sure that answers your question, okay? So what other questions? And unfortunately, it's like network has thrown Mr. Raymond out. I don't know what network decide to do today, okay? And unfortunately, it's not helpful to us, as it were. All right. Usually, I want us to talk a lot about other things that are related to food and health, food and prostate and everything. But as you can see, network is not helping the matter. So I don't know if anybody have any other question, we may want to answer them. But if we don't have any questions, maybe we'll just call it a night. Okay? I just wish today was different so that we have this beautiful experience like we had before. Okay? I also have some questions that I've penciled down that I want to ask him, but unfortunately, network is not allowing us. Well, let's just hang around and see. Maybe we'll just come back in. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask and I will answer them for you, okay? Mr. Kenneth, your question was answered, right? Okay. Does anybody have any question? I can answer some of this question, but I don't want to be the only person I'm talking in this avenue. That's why I'm inviting people who it's their primary area. Being a pharmacist and being in the healthcare sector for a long time, practicing, I have a lot of information and knowledge about all these things, but I usually want the people that are in that field to answer, and that's why you see I'm inviting people from different areas. And I want to believe that at least we have gained one or two things from this interaction. It talks about caffeine, we talk about coffee, it talks about moderation. If you remember, Dr. Dominic Sofa also mentioned something about weight, and the part that Mr. Raymond started with is also related to weight, and he said weight control. Okay, so weight is a risk factor for prostate problem. We want to reduce our weight as much as possible. Okay. So we have done 39 minutes, which approximately 40 minutes in this session. It's quite unfortunate that network threw us out. If I was not out in that period, I'm sure we'll have done one of I think it's in our best interest to end the call now. So I want to thank you for joining us this evening for this session. We will call it a night, and the next time we're going to talk about, I'm bringing in another doctor. I'm also trying to get in touch with a clinical psychologist so that we can talk about other matters in that area. We'll be talking about sex and prostate health, and we'll be talking about stress and prostate health. And we announced the next class, the next session in our group. But once again, I want to thank you for joining us. So have a beautiful night rest. I will give you updates in the group. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Bye-bye.